Hey everyone, welcome to Area 616. Okay, so I know I'm supposed to be doing videos related to Fantastic Beasts, but this has ties to Doctor Strange, which is kinda sorta related because they both have magic, so it's totally fine in my book. But anyways, the Infinity Stones. Anyone who's been paying attention to the Marvel Cinematic Universe will know that Marvel has been leading up to a very big story for many years now. Slowly introducing the Infinity Stones, 6 extremely powerful ancient artifacts. As we saw with Ronan in Guardians of the Galaxy, even just one in the wrong hands could be catastrophic, but all 6 would be apocalyptic, as in the end of literally the fabric of reality itself. And there happens to be a guy named Thanos looking to collect all 6 of them right now. But now, after so many years, we're now a mere 2 or so years from the big finale they've been building up to, Avengers Infinity War, the fight to stop Thanos. But back to the subject, so far we've come across 5 Infinity Stones in the MCU, which of course means there's only one left to be found. But just in case your memory's bad, the first Infinity Stone was in the Tesseract in Captain America: The First Avenger. It contained the Space Stone, which is how it opened a portal to another side of space in the Avengers. It is currently on Asgard, as Thor took it there along with Loki. Speaking of Loki, the Scepter. In the Avengers, Loki has a scepter that he uses to not only control Hawkeye and Eric Selvig's minds, but manipulate the Avengers into fighting each other and just messing stuff up. His scepter contained the Mind Stone, which you might have guessed controls minds. Without getting into the long story of how it got there, the Mind Stone is currently in the forehead of Vision, an Avenger. Thor said that he was a worthy guardian for the stone, as he was able to lift Mjolnir and all that. Next up, the Ether in Thor: The Dark World. Malekith wanted to use it to, quote, return the universe to darkness, whatever that means, and he could have done it too, because the Ether contains the Reality Stone, arguably the most powerful of all 6. It has the ability to literally control reality. For example, in the original Infinity Gauntlet comic, Thanos used the Reality Stone and simply snapped his fingers, and half of the population of Earth and the entire universe, I think, literally vanished into thin air. That's pretty powerful, meaning that if Thanos gets the Reality Stone, he'd be essentially unstoppable. The Reality Stone is currently in the Collector's Vault on Nowhere. Moving on, in Guardians of the Galaxy, Ronan the Accuser is after the Orb, a mysterious ancient artifact that holds the Power Stone, which grants the user unimaginable power, if they are strong enough to contain it. But by the end of the movie, it's in the possession of the Nova Corps on Xandar. And now finally for the most recent Infinity Stone, the Time Stone, which is in the Eye of Agamotto. As you might have guessed, the Time Stone controls time. I know, right? In the movie, Strange uses it for all sorts of timey-wimey stuff, like turning back time to before a building is destroyed, and putting himself in a time loop. Okay, so now that leaves us with the last Infinity Stone, Soul. This stone takes your soul, I guess. Pretty cool. But of course, we have no clue where it is in the MCU right now. So today I'm going to try and figure that out. But we know one thing. It will have to be introduced in the next year or so. Before May 4th, 2018 at least. So I'm going to go ahead and cross off Spider-Man: Homecoming and Black Panther from the list of possibilities, just because they both have no connections to all of that. So that leaves us with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and Thor: Ragnarok. Now at first glance, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 might seem like the obvious choice. However, James Gunn has repeatedly denied that there's any Infinity Stones in this movie, and has said that it is purely standalone compared to the rest of the MCU. On top of that, it would fit for it to be in Ragnarok, as the reason Thor left Earth at the end of Avengers: Age of Ultron was to try and find out what was going on with the Infinity Stones. So I'd say there's a good chance it's not in GOT-G Volume 2. Though I would still propose that perhaps it could serve as the heart of Ego, the living planet. This could explain a couple of things, like how he accidentally ends up on Earth, why he leaves, and then why he spent the rest of his time alone in the furthest corners of the universe. All could be explained as him trying to avoid someone stealing his Infinity Stone, which would give the movie a villain as well. But that's just my speculation. With Ragnarok, it actually kind of fits very well there too, because the villain in that one is Hela, who just happens to literally be the Queen of the Dead. So my guess is the Soul Stone is how she collects her souls. With that, it seems to really make sense for it to be in Ragnarok, which is why I'd bet that's where it is. But there's still one last place it could show up. Avengers Infinity War. Perhaps the main plot of the first Infinity War movie will follow Thanos collecting all 6, and it would be in that movie that we find the last one. But just where would it be? Here's one theory. Remember that cocoon in the Collector's Vault in Guardians of the Galaxy? That was an Easter egg for the cocoon that Adam Warlock hatches out of in the comics. Warlock played an enormous role in the original Infinity Gauntlet storyline. And on top of that, he actually had an Infinity Stone as well. It was the Mind Stone, but who's to say it couldn't be the Soul Stone in this instead? Just a thought. But at the end of the day, I'd say Hela in Thor Ragnarok is the most likely place for the next Infinity Stone to show up. But where do you think it will be? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.